And we are live. Welcome to the Green Nurse Podcast. Happy New Year 2025. Happy New Year. Happy New You. And here at the Green Nurse Podcast, we bring hope and inspiration for growth and healing. And we're truly here to change the dialogue and stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. And you'll hear me say it once. You'll hear me say it twice. You may hear me say it 3 times. Hi. H is for hope, I is for inspiration, G is for growth, H is for healing. You deserve to feel good. We all deserve to feel good. And here is a little blip about what we do in the cannabis space as nurses. And then we are going to get started on this very exciting show today with Nurse Carey Lee.
Change the paradigm of healthcare.
The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I'm the founder of Holistic Caring. We're based here in California, and we do educational programs and case management for patients on how to use cannabis therapeutically as a medicine.
We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high, hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
As the founder of Holistic Caring, I basically oversee the whole ship. And what we're doing is progressive education.
Cannabis actually supports all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to tell our body to either do something or not do something. Because the plant was prohibited, it prevented health professionals, doctors and nurses from learning about cannabis as medicine.
I want to change the paradigm of healthcare and us paving the way into a new vanguard of medicine.
It's about education, it's about empowerment, it's about teaching people how to feel good, bridging the gap from what they're not getting from traditional medicine, utilizing different plant medicines, adaptogens, tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs of information to support and nourish the most important system in our body.
It's a lot of soul work, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, and meditation. I'm using my life work as a testimony to others to learn how they can be their own hero and then go help heal the world.
And we are, as nurses, the game changers.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Growing your health, growing in cannabis. Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Sherry Mack, and I'm Chief Nursing Officer and co-founder of Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse and Vice President of Nursing at Bloom Hemp CBD. I'm a cannabis nurse, cannabis patient, cannabis advocate, activist, and as you all know, a very passionate podcaster here to change the paradigm of healthcare. Believe it or not, I'm really excited to announce that this year is my 8th year podcasting, The Green Nurse Living Your Best Life. I started podcasting in 2018 when the National Council State Boards of Nursing came out with their guidelines that nurses must have 6 essential areas of knowledge when it comes to cannabis as medicine. And I started podcasting to share compelling stories of healing and to decrease stigma, since I too use cannabis as medicine. Cannabis nursing has been recognized as a specialty, and nurses are truly making an impact on advocating for safe therapeutic use of cannabis by teaching on the endocannabinoid system and how to optimize cannabis as medicine for health, healing, and wellness purposes. But before we get started, we do have a very special message from our sponsors at Bloom Hemp that is sponsoring this show today. And I'm going to pull up that little handy dandy slide. And Bloom Hemp is a woman and nurse-owned national hemp CBD supplier, leading with quality, safety, and value, patient-centered care. Bloom Hemp products are USDA organic, grown in the mountains of Colorado, and tested for purity, potency, cannabinoid, and terpene profiles. Bloom Hemp is proud to offer a free nurse line to answer questions and explain how and why CBD works in the body. We have the free nurse line there that y'all can call. And Bloom Hemp is offering 10% off and free shipping with Green Nurse. Thank you so much, Bloom Hemp, for sponsoring this show. We couldn't do it without you. So here we are. This is a new year, new you. Happy 2025. And, I'm excited to bring Nurse Carey Lee back onto the show here. I've had the pleasure of knowing Nurse Carey Lee for the past 5 years. And back in 2020, 2021, she was a regular co-host on the Green Nurse podcast during my morning shows. And so I'm thrilled to share that she's joined our private network to offer her incredible services as a psychic, intuitive tarot reader. We're going to talk about that. Both my partner, Elizabeth Mack, and I have had sessions with her privately and collectively. And let me tell you, her readings are absolutely spot on. And I'm really excited to be working with her again in a new way, helping even more people heal through her amazing connection with spirit and the tarot. Carey Lee has been a registered nurse for the last 7 years, specializing in mind, body, and spirit health, utilizing lifestyle and sacred plant medicines to teach others how to live holistically and organically. Her experience working the front lines during the first year of the pandemic forever changed her, as it did many others. She is now dedicated to normalizing the spiritual world, the unseen realm, and the works with spirit as a psychic, intuitive tarot reader and guide for those on a spiritual path. Her readings include soul path, life purpose, love, career, and integrative support for those that are using sacred plant medicine therapies. Cannabis, psychedelics, and community saved her life and led her back to spirit. And her mission is to empower people, inspiring them to trust themselves, live authentically, boldly, make choices, and take actions that lead them to their best and most blessed lives. Welcome to the show, Carey. So
I feel like I'm back home, girl.
I know. Gosh.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be the first one in 2025. That's badass McSass. I love it.
Well, you know what? And you are the first one in 2025. And when we talk about cannabis care, it's more than just cannabis. It's bio, psycho, social, spiritual healing. And when people embark on a cannabis journey or a plant medicine journey or psychedelics, it's outside the box therapy as it is. It's not completely accepted yet. And so we need to have a variety of tools to help people integrate these experiences, right? And have a place to go and a place to turn. And, I'm really excited for our viewers to hear your transformational journey because it really has been amazing to witness.
Aww,
I know.
So cool.
I know. So the first question is, tell us about yourself and your plant medicine journey. What brought you to cannabis, psychedelics, et cetera? And then we'll dive into the.
Oh, sweet. Well, first of all, just on a personal note, I'm a proud mother of 3 gorgeous sons. I absolutely love art. I love live music, roller skating, tarot, spirit. I love being outside. And of course, I love plant medicine. Over the course of about 3 to 4 years, plant medicine, specifically starting with cannabis and CBD, paired with really significant lifestyle changes. It helped me come off over 10 different pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? And I experienced, like so many other people worldwide, just great emotional and physical trauma from the side effects of these medications, and received little, if any, sustainable relief from what I was actually taking the medications from to begin with. You know what I mean? So, cannabis, along with a lot of patience and a lot of time and a lot of persistence, and, helped me come off of all of that. Today, I'm really happy to say I don't take any pharmaceuticals. Boom.
And
high five, baby. It pays to be high. Let me tell you. No.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, the thing is,
oh my gosh,
it's not that we're anti-pharma, but what we need to be.
There's a place for it. There's a place for it.
Exactly.
It needs to be put into check.
It needs to be put into check,
psychedelic experiences were also a big component. I feel like the big message I want to send out to everybody is that there's never one size that fits all. And there isn't one magic pill. There isn't one magic joint. You're not going to smoke bongs and heal yourself. You know what I mean? We can't all walk around being Spicoli for crying out loud. It's like, it is a combination. It's the culmination of multiple things, and lifestyle changes are just as important as these organics that we're placing in our life as well. Psychedelic experiences were a very, very large component in my overall healing and recovery. Starting with the organic side of it, psilocybin was a big thing for me. I dabbled in psilocybin and LSD growing up, my teen years. I'm a Gen Xer. I loved going to shows. I loved going to, events and festivals. And that was my jam. That was my thing. But, growing up and being in the adult world and realizing that not just cannabis, but now psilocybin and also ketamine, that's the white man's medicine. You know what I mean? This stuff really changes the landscape of the brain, of the health of the brain. And, the psilocybin, both micro and macro dosing, huge. The micro dosing really helped me break through the first layer, dealing with the seasonal depression, living up north. You remember that, right?
Yes, I do. You were in Iowa.
Yeah, I was up in Iowa. I'm originally from the Chicagoland area, but I was up in extreme rural Iowa for almost 10 years. And let me tell you, I thought the Windy City had some serious winter. No, the Windy City has nothing on the little house in the prairie vibes. But the real significant shift in my personal experience was ketamine. And I got into ketamine professionally, as you well know. You were with me on that journey as well as so many of our amazing, beautiful nursing colleagues out there. And not too long after I jumped on the ketamine train professionally, I started a treatment regimen myself. And, again, it's not just the ketamine alone that is going to do it. I really was intentional with reframing the mindset and utilizing tools like, journaling and positive affirmations. And, I don't know. It's just like, it's such a combination of everything that really just truly helped me to shatter the ceiling of limited beliefs, these limited belief structures that create this rumination of those negative thoughts and the negative way that we think about ourselves. And it really, it puts people in this mental prison. So I am forever a proponent and an advocate of both cannabis therapeutics as well as psychedelics, regardless of what I'm doing professionally. So love it. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we have a comment from Jen. Loved working with you at Keta MD. Ketamine is a powerful healer.
Oh, Jen. Oh my God. I love you, Jen. Thank you so much, my love. The feeling is mutual. I loved working with Jen. Oh, yes. Unbelievable. Yeah. We had such a great family there. We had such a great, amazing crew of nurse guides there for sure. So, and I learned so much working with you and Nurse Jamie at Keta MD. And really, just looking at a different approach to how we take care of patients. Absolutely. And how we guide them through a session, how we actually help them integrate the experiences. And then even our own personal journey, you and I have had a few deep dives ourselves. I mean, here's this little magic wand right here. Did I not say, looky, the magic wand is making her appearance. This is her permanent new home. And you're like, is that the one from Denise's? I'm like, yes, it is. So Carey Lee, so we all did, when we're all in training as nurses, we do this, and this actually happens in real life with scientists, with researchers. A group of nurses got together and decided to consume mushrooms and have an experience together and share in the integration, et cetera. And so I'm gonna share a story with you with Carey Lee. So Carey Lee, we were at Denise's house. She brought out this magic wand and we would change outfits. So it was part of it. It was therapeutic. It was healing, it really was. But it was also laying down the framework for how we could integrate these experiences at a later time when we needed them. Yep. So Carey Lee had this wand and she was a magical fairy in this amazing experience that we had. And how it came full circle was about a year and a half later. We were traveling to a conference and I had a panic attack in the airport. Viva Las Vegas, baby. Woohoo.
So I'm going through the airport with Nurse Carey Lee, and we got to go through the check. We have to go through the check, and I have some cannabis products in my backpack. And all of a sudden, they take my bag, they pull it aside, and I almost literally pooped my pants. I'm not kidding. The panic set in. I'm like, oh my God,
Who's got the bail money, man? No,
who's got the bail money? And so it ended up it turned out they took a stick and they stuck it into my backpack, and they said, ma'am, do you have anything illegal in here? And I said, I just have my medicine. That's all. And next thing you know, they pull out a bottle of water and they go, ma'am, you're not allowed to have this water. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Can I drink my medicine? And so literally, but then the panic didn't go away. And so this is the part that's really interesting, was when the endocannabinoid system signals both the fight or flight response and the relaxation response.
Yeah.
The fight or flight response, we cannot control ever. The relaxation response, we can, but it requires conscious awareness and practice.
Mm-hmm.
I knew in order for me to move through the airport for us to catch our next flight, that I needed to get into the relaxation response, and I didn't know how to do that. So I asked Carey Lee, I said, can we pretend we're back at Denise's house and you pull out your wand and you're a magic fairy and let's just march through this airport? And that's what we did. So we literally created this imaginary scenario within the airport that brought me back to a place where I felt very safe, calm, loved, and supported. And Carey Lee had her pretend magic wand in the air, and we literally marched through the airport and got to the next terminal and made our flight. Because I don't know if those of you that know PTSD, complex PTSD is paralyzing. Right?
Yeah, being afraid to have a panic attack, like you're dealing with that. I'm dealing with like, I don't want to have a panic attack. It's like, we know you just don't want to have those experiences in public. It's so common,
Yeah. So this was an example of how
beautiful
we used psychedelics to our benefit and remembered when we were in that experience and brought that to the surface of our consciousness and stepped into pretend mode. And literally, spirit led us through with Carey Lee's little magic wand.
I want to point out too, because this is an excellent teaching moment. It's like, and I talk about this all the time in my tarot readings, especially with those that identify as being on the spiritual path, clearing out the vessel and such. It's like when you have these learning moments, you gain this inner wisdom. Like we had that moment at Denise's, right? And here we are at the airport, heading to Vegas for this conference, right? It's like, if you don't apply that wisdom into the real world, the daily life, it's all for nothing.
That's right.
You lose the juice on it. You lose the zest. The whole point is to integrate. There's that word, integrate. Yeah. What you learned in real life, and it sticks. Then the lessons stick, and you make long-lasting, sustainable change. Right. In your life. So excellent example, Cher Bear. I love it. Woo!
Improving neuroplasticity, and also the experience grounded it into my being. I wasn't worried about what are they going to think. Who are they anyways?
Exactly.
Right. So it was really about me stepping into the relaxation response, using imagination, using visualization, and actually pretending while we were at the airport. So
yeah, you were training those brain cells really good habits instead of reverting back to the old ones, right?
Absolutely.
That's the way it works. I love it.
That's the way it works. So how did you get into, next question, how did you get into the tarot and the cards? How did the tarot come into your life?
Well, a lot of people are like, what, you just wake up one day and decide you were going to be a tarot reader and be psychic and stuff? And it's like, no. First of all, right? It's like tarot started calling to me really early in my life when I was in my teenage years. And I have had a couple of decks here and there all throughout my life, but I never really was consistent or really truly dedicated with the practice or learning it or really sticking with it, because unfortunately, like so many out there, religious trauma is a thing as well. And I was raised in the Catholic Church, and I'm not bashing the Catholic Church, so don't get your panties in a wad out there, everybody, okay? What I'm saying is my experience was, if you went outside the box in that particular, sitch, like anything esoteric, astrology, tarot, oracle, whatever, it was taught to you, you're going to burn in hell. And, it sounds severe. Well, imagine how a freaking 7-year-old girl feels.
Right.
Feeling that way. You don't remember what people say, but man, you remember how things made you feel. You know what I mean? So I really, really had avoidance with it. So, fast forward years later, I did start diving into oracle decks because it felt like a safer option. And they are a little bit different than tarot decks, but it's a similar tool, right? And so fast forward even further, after some really significant life changes for me, like literally every area of my life leveled out. Divorced after 20 plus years of marriage to the same man, father of my children. I relocated to another part of the country. I'm down in beautiful Southeast Florida now. Came down here because I needed relief from seasonal depression, and then lost my job with Keta MD. The company went under, unfortunately. And that had to be one of the most meaningful, besides cannabis nursing, that was the most meaningful part of my nursing career up to date, And so losing all of that, I was a shell of a human being. And I really was just in this space of like, what the hell am I going to do next? Because I knew after being in conventional nursing and serving the front lines of the pandemic, I was like, there is no way I'm going back to that. I am not, I'm not contributing. I just, no. And it's not a bash to anyone who's nursing out in conventional medicine. I love you all. I have such mad respect for you. Again, this is my personal experience. My soul was just crying. There's just no way I could do it. So, I became aware of my own spiritual awakening in that moment. I was journaling. I was actually utilizing Julia Cameron. She has a book called The Artist's Way. Basically, it's like a 16-week, don't hold me to it because it's been a minute since I've done it. It's like a 16-week, like self-study, like taking you through all areas of your life. The whole purpose of the journaling is to really tap into your creativity, bringing out that inner child, learning to live and enjoy life. Well, I was having this moment of like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Blah. And I always knew I was like guided. I always knew I had communication because I'd hear songs, I'd hear lyrics, things like that, just inner knowings and things, but I just didn't really know anything about it. And all of a sudden, it was the first time I had a reciprocal interaction with my guides, with my angels. I'm having this wipeout moment, this total meltdown. And then I heard a song. It was as clear. It was as if I had it playing on my Spotify playlist.
That's awesome. What was the song?
It was a song, Sarah McLachlan's, something about In the Arms of the Angel.
Oh, yes.
And that was the lyrics that came through. And here's how I knew this wasn't my logical mind thinking about it, because there's a difference. You know what I mean? I'm no offense to the performer, to the musician. I think she's awesome, mad respect, but I just wasn't a big fan of that music. You're not going to find that. You weren't going to find that song on any of my playlists, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
So she's not a fan. So you're not a fan of her music, but this is what you heard loud and clear, which made you realize that this is not my type of music. This is not my type of song.
And that's why I knew, just like it was like almost like a lightning bolt moment. Like it was the first time, again, imagine a reciprocal interaction with an angel.
Right.
Just put yourself in, just think about that for a second. And it was the most beautiful, most sacred, intimate experience of my life to date. And from that moment on, because I had been dabbling with tarot at that point, getting back into it. Well, maybe I should do, maybe it'll help me on my, and it was in that moment I was like, I'm doing this. I want to do this professionally. I'm launching a YouTube channel. I'm freaking doing this. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me. I don't care. this is brilliant. I want other people to feel how I feel. I want other people to experience spirit on this level. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just, I don't know. So that's how I got here. My guides, it's like I could actually feel them, like almost like a visual feel, like a clairvoyance hit. It's like they were jumping up and down like, oh my God, yes, finally. She's taking up the tarot after like decades of denying it, you know? So
for the new viewers that are out there, they may not know what the clairs are. So clairs,
let me add it. Can I talk about it?
Yes, please tell the viewers about what the clairs are.
Well, first of all, I want to say everybody has the ability to access and tap into their intuition and the clairs. And I'm only going to speak on 4 of them. Clairvoyance, which we all know is inner sight, visions, right? I access my clairvoyance through my dream state. That's where it really, and I do have visuals anyway. Clairaudience, which is my most dominant one. Now that's inner hearing. And so, as an example, my guides will communicate to me through music, lyrics, commercials. I mean, I've had Seinfeld episodes show up in my claircognizance is an inner knowing. Like you just all of a sudden, this knowing appears in your consciousness, in your conscious field, right? You don't have anywhere, you have no way of like explaining how you know something. You can't prove it. You can't, pull up a study and say, well, this proves it. No, it's just there. You know what I mean? And then there's clairsentience, where you feel like you can have physical sensations, taste, smell. You can have just inner, like, it's like you feel it on your skin, in your bones, in your body. Like sometimes if I'm onto something or I get a confirmation, like I feel like a squeeze in my heart, or I feel a squeeze in my 6th or 7th chakras. So just some examples of that, you know what I mean? So everybody has access to this. Some of us are born with them wide open, and some of us, think of it as like when you play something on Spotify, right? The volume. Some of us, the volume is up really, really loud on some clairs, and it's really, really low on others, but we all have the ability to develop them.
Yeah.
And that is a freaking
slow
gift.
down and practice.
Absolutely. So I like to always point that out because, hey, at the end of the day, I am not a guru. I'm not any different than anyone else. I'm not special in that sense that these psychic abilities differentiate me from anyone. We all have that capability. It's just most of us didn't know that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
So
okay, so which is so awesome. I love to experience that, because when we've done our readings together, I can just see spirit speaking to you, like the songs, they come through. So it'll be interesting if what comes through when we pull some cards in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So for the new viewers, are you still practicing as an RN?
I am not practicing as an RN anymore. I do not work conventionally, not since the pandemic, and I haven't been in an official nursing role since Keta MD. My heart was just crushed when that ended. And I realized building this business that nothing is ever wasted. No. You know what I mean? Like I can still use the skill set and the experience that I have from my nursing career and support people, in this role, like their mental health, their mind health, and their body health. But, for those of everyone out here, they're like, well, you better be practicing in the scope of your law. Well, I am not prescribing. I am not recommending. I'm not doing anything like that. I don't need a nursing license to do what I'm doing, but it's an absolute gift. And I feel like it's something that differentiates me from other readers. The ability to really, really help support the entire human being, their mind, body, and spirit health wholly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
yes, we got a comment from EMAC. That's why the rest of us need people like you to help us listen to our guides.
Oh, I love you, E. Thank you. It's the truth. It's really the truth. It's interesting. Like, I just want to tag on to that. Like, I was doing research for a paper that I was working on to do like a public speech on. And I was looking at, psychiatric medications and how, they really numb out our emotions and our feelings. And if you can't access your emotions and your feelings, you really can't access these gifts.
That's right.
Can't access these abilities. And some of the research that I was doing, I'm like, well, what's going on here? Because I'd always been very active as a nurse with the mental and emotional health and the physical health with the body, right? But I never really supported anybody in their spirit health. And there were articles that I was reading that was showing people tended to have more chronic episodes of depression and anxiety that did not have some form of a spiritual practice in their life. And I'm not just talking religion, I'm talking any kind of a spiritually based practice, yoga, meditation, anyway, like being outside nature. It's like they had so many more, documented. So spirit is what's missing from so many people's lives. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing. I really, really, truly want to normalize the unseen. And hey, let's get back to prayer. Let's get back to involving the highest of the high.
The highest of the high.
The highest of the high, baby. I don't care how you refer to the highest of the high. I respect and honor everybody, no matter what faith you have. I just want you to have some kind of a faith that doesn't hurt people, that doesn't hurt yourself, and that doesn't, as long as you're not hurting anybody, baby, you can, I don't care. Just,
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So
you know what I mean?
So when we're working with patients, right, we build them a cannabinoid toolkit. Well, part of this is also building a spiritual toolkit.
Absolutely.
Right? Well, what if you don't have your cannabinoids? You need to turn to spirit and say, oh, please give me some more cannabis. No, I'm just kidding. But you need to have tools in place.
Yes, you do.
That can help you to calm your central nervous system. Again, the endocannabinoid system signals the fight or flight response and the relaxation response. We cannot control the fight or flight. The relaxation response, we can control. It requires conscious awareness and practice. So a spiritual toolbox, what does that look like for you? I know that wasn't on one of the questions, but I thought it would be a good one.
Okay, but I love that you're bringing this up though, because man, I mean, first of all, before I start, divulging my secrets and stuff, I want to make a point that everybody has their own unique thing. Yeah. And what works for me may not work for you, Sherry, and may not work, for Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? And that I think is one of the biggest problems of our healthcare system right now is they really just try to one size fit it all. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's one of the things I absolutely love about, plant medicine is that it really puts that control, that power, empowerment back into the patient's lap, and really be able to use a little more, whatever, you know what I mean? So my toolbox, what is in my spiritual toolbox? You mean like practices? So, well, okay. So a day in the life of Carey Lee. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is, confirmation spirit. No, I'm right by a pretty massive hospital over here. The first thing I do is jump on my mat. I jump on my yoga mat. It's spread out right in my master bedroom. And I love this girl, Yoga with Bird, on YouTube. She's got like 5-10 minute quickie little morning stretchies. So I get on that mat and do a little stretchy. That is an excellent way to really reset the nervous system immediately, because depending upon how your sleep was, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get some crazy dreams, honey. And I'm like, what the heck was that you put in there, spirit? Right. So I do a little bit of yoga. I do my meditation. I throw that coffee on because, we all got to have a little bit of that in our life. Journaling is my most important. I would be lost without journaling. And I don't just brain dump. I used to just brain dump and get, and that's really valuable. But journaling for me is what really, truly grounds me in and makes me feel really secure. I get whatever I need to get off of my mind, whatever dreams I had, I write about the dreams. And, a lot of times there's some unpleasant things that come up, right? Because we're human, right? Mm-hmm. But the trick of the matter, this is the beautiful part. I've learned how to really, truly reframe. After I brain dump, I make a gratitude list and I write out whatever I'm grateful for. And I mean, I'm not just talking about, I like my jewelry or I like this. I'm like, I love the way these flowers are blooming. I love the way the sun is rising. And, that is really getting down into the grace of gratitude. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful for fresh, clean, filtered water. I'm so grateful to experience a day without violence. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. And then I take it a step further and I go through positive affirmations, because guess what? I'm on the spiritual path, baby. This is my life. It's a way of life. And I'm working through, these limiting belief structures. I'm probably 90% cleared out, but there's still a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? It's never going to end. To be able to end that journaling session, no matter what I wrote about, with a positive affirmation, it just sets your mindset up. You know what I mean? It's like you really have to be intentional in choosing your thoughts, So when I do that, it's prayer. I pull my cards. I do my own personal reading. I open up my spirit team. So I'm really I'm like, good morning, great spirit. Thank you so much for blessing me with another day to be alive. I mean, that's just the morning.
There you go. We got this toolbox for the morning. She's got one.
I got a toolbox for the morning. I got a toolbox for the evening. I got a rescue toolbox. I actually really do. I have one little journal. It's my rescue journal. And it's like when I get like stuck in the squeeze up in the head, or like something's really bothering me, I can refer to that journal, and it has really impactful quotes. It has really impactful prayer. It has certain, positive affirmations I could really just lean into. It's really truly about shifting the energy, because at the end of the day, I think what a lot of people don't understand, because it's not normalized, is that our thoughts and our emotions and our feelings are energy. Mm-hmm. It's energy. It's a frequency. And we each have the power to choose how we direct that stuff. Yeah. So when you have a crunchy thought, right, you can either continue to think that thought and fester and sit in it, or you can take your power and own it and redirect that thought into something else. And sometimes it's easier said than done. You can't just do it, oh, well, here I am. Well, let me just do it. It's like, that's when I'll pull out that rescue journal and be like, okay, what's the situation? Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, man, we're just kind of all over the place. I love it though. This is like,
it's great.
We're flowing.
We're flowing. And this is real life. So this leads me into the next question is, what kind of readings do you do? And what would a reading look like for a client?
Oh, this is really fun. I like this. So, okay, let's break it down into two parts. Reading types. So reading types, my specialties are the spiritual path, those that are identifying as, you're doing that inner depth work, whether you're doing inner child healing, shadow work, right? Healing from generational trauma, right? Love and relationships, career and finance. I've got two new fun readings that because I've revamped all of my offerings. One is an energy check-in, just kind of like, where am I at energetically? What the heck's going on? Because sometimes we get stuck in the squeeze and we're like, I'm like entering a new phase and I don't even know how to identify these emotions or feelings. What's up? What's the challenge? What's working for me? And how do I move through this, And the last spread that I really, really love, I'm going to need to do it for you guys.
Okay.
It's called the Crazy Brain Spread. One of my mentors that taught me tarot, this was her spread that she introduced to us. And it's like, have you ever just had a ruminating thought, like something was just bugging the piss out of you? And you just like, oh my God, I can't get this. I'm so worried about this. It's driving me absolutely nuts. This is bullshit. You're like, well, this spread is just straight up. It's like 4 cards, what you think is happening. It's all about perception. Where's my perception at? The first card is what I think is happening. The second card is what's actually happening. Then there's guidance. And what I love is the underpinning. The last card is, well, this is the underpinning of the situation that you're not consciously aware of, meaning spirit's going to give you the deets. This is what's really going on underneath it while you're feeling this way. And it could really be like subconscious or like a program. These thoughts, these things, these belief structures, think of them as apps running, programs running. You know what I mean? So the whole premise of the reading, though, what I love the best about it is when you do that reading and you've got your answer and you've got your clarification and your guidance, you give it to God. You give it to the highest of the high and you don't think about it again.
Right.
It's just a great way to address it, face it, instead of avoiding it, or instead of letting it just completely destroy your energy. You know what I mean?
Another way of saying it is you're saying, Jesus, take the wheel, right?
Jesus, take the wheel, please and thank you.
That's what I heard in my head.
Oh yeah, that's a great way to put it. Absolutely.
Jesus,
So,
take the wheel.
I want to say
Right.
too, it's like the spiritual path really encompasses all areas of our lives, though. I want to be really clear on that. It's not really just about awakenings and stuff, because it's like, to really have a healthy, spiritual life is to also have an equally healthy experience in this material plane. We are not meant to just grind. We're not meant to just get up and grind and like, ugh. We're meant to be, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. We're meant to enjoy and like savor our lives on a daily basis. You know what I mean?
I do
So
know what you
many of
mean.
us don't know how to do that because we're doom scrolling and we're comparing ourselves to everybody on social media and we're being fed all this garbage from the news and blah, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, help me help you. Anyway, reading experiences with me are actually really fun now.
They are fun.
I mean, I like to think of it as, first of all, I don't really do in person. I do everything over Zoom. So if we're doing a live one-to-one, I have live one-to-one availability. And I also have pre-recorded options for like the shorter readings, like the energy check-ins and the crazy brains. But, we jump on a Zoom call and it's like sitting at the kitchen table, a couple of friends, having a spot of tea, and we're having some conversation and we're connecting in human interaction. I like to use a combination of oracle cards and tarot cards. I typically, when people are filling out their intakes, I always give them the option to ask at least 1 to 2 questions. It gives me a chance to actually meditate and journal and ask spirit, okay, Sherry wants to know what's going on with this. Sherry wants to know what the heck's going on with Elizabeth. What's right? But, spirit responds to me. And a lot of times my guides will send me a music. They'll send me a song or something like that. You know what I mean? So, it's just, I really want people to have an experience. I want them to come. That's the reason why I record, because I don't want people to feel like they have to be journaling and writing down notes. And I've had people like, well, let me take notes. It's like, no. I want you to be present with me, human being to human being. I want to hopefully give you an experience where you're able to connect with spirit yourself with me.
Yeah.
And connect with your spirit team, your angels and your guides, connect with your soul. It's an experience. I want you to leave my session feeling empowered.
Yeah.
Your
sessions are amazing. But for the new viewers that are watching and that are new to the Tarot and Oracle, what's the difference between the two? That's one of the questions I have.
Oh, how did you know I was going to love to talk about this? I love that. So, there is a big difference. So Oracle decks, they're cool. Oracle decks are unique in that there is no set template or structure. They can come in many different themes, purposes. There can be different numbers of cards in the deck. Some examples would be, I have a deck that's for animal guides, animal spirits. I have decks that are, specialized with numerology, divine feminine. I have a beautiful, beautiful deck of all divine feminine, sacred geometry. It's really about, some of it's really, I use it in my readings to tap into the big picture, the big view. What is the overview of this reading? It kind of gives me a feel for the energy, what's going to happen, what's going to unfold. And then you've got other oracle decks that are created to help support you in your shadow work, in your inner child healing. So I really, really love that. Tarot is very different. It is, there's a debate in the spiritual community about the absolute origin of where tarot began. Some say it started in like Italy, some say France. But I was taught, and I use the modern version, the Rider-Waite decks. And so tarot decks are structured. They have a template. There's always going to be a minimum of 78 cards. Okay. I do have a few decks where the creators have added an extra card or two, because each tarot deck, it does follow the same template. But what I love is that each creator, they are really sharing with you their own personal interpretation, because it can be different for everyone. You know what I mean? So tarot cards follow archetypal patterns. Think Carl Jung energy, right? And so these archetypal patterns, they encompass soul and life experiences. It's then broken down into another subset, breaking it down into the elements of fire, air, earth, and water, right? And so we can go down a little bit further and break that down into the astrological zodiac signs. Like, think about fire, the element of fire, that's going to represent Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, right? I can also take it down to another level, even further deeper, and we can tap into numerology, because all of the cards are numbered. So it's really, truly about, they represent energetic patterns of what's occurring, what's potentially going to occur, the people that are involved, the environments, the overall situations that are at play. And I really feel like my take on it, at least from my experience and my perspective, and it's going to be different for everybody. Okay. I'm not a guru or an expert. Okay. It's just me. All right. But I feel like they're really here to help us to connect to our souls and really truly learn how to tap into our inner guidance that we receive from the highest of the high, you know, and really act upon it and feel confident. Yeah. Confident. So I don't know. I love it. It's delicious. I learn something new every day, and it's unbelievable. I feel like they're just really here to help us heal from the inside out. At least for my practice, my whole purpose is to really help people heal from the inside out. So it's a beautiful thing.
And then that's going to bring me into this next question, because, you know, we work with plant medicine. You're part of our community now. You have a space in our network.
Come join me.
The question is so how does tarot and the oracle in your reading support someone who utilizes sacred plant therapies?
Okay, that's an excellent question. I love, 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 love. So, you know, I think the most important thing, and I think I touched on this a little bit earlier, was the importance of pairing a mindset reframing, some type of a protocol with a mindset reframing when you're utilizing, let's just keep talking about ketamine, you know what I mean? Because it's more mainstream and legal and, you know, all that good stuff.
Yeah, people can go and make an appointment at a clinic and have a ketamine infusion or have a session, etc.
It's like, first of all, who better to get guidance from than the highest of the high? Can we be real? You know what I mean? So it's like, I really work with the tarot, the oracle, the numerology, the Healy. I've incorporated the Healy. That's the bioresonance frequency device. I use the aura scan on the Healy because it basically can show us what belief structures are entering, what new healthy ones are entering the field, our energy field, and what ones are exiting. So it's a great, great tool. And that's actually included in my integrative support readings. But I really, really lean into the positive affirmations, teaching and coaching people how to journal. Do you know what I mean? How to clear that vessel out, clear out those limiting belief structures and whatnot. If it's somebody who's not looking to heal, if they're not dealing with, you know, generational healing, a lot of people that come through to me, they're dealing with, you know, generational trauma. So they're breaking these generational patterns, sometimes even past life, and ancestral patterns. You know what I mean? I teach them about things that I've learned through my own personal experience, like from the greats, like Louise Hay. You know what I mean? She's really great with mirror work. And she's really great with the reprogramming of that mindset. You know what I mean? Julia Cameron. I spoke about Julia Cameron. If you're a creative and you're feeling blocked, some people aren't looking they don't have emotional or mental health issues. They're just looking to really stimulate their creativity. And that's why they lean in to ketamine or psilocybin, right? These journeys. So I'll work with them on, teaching them how to set up their journaling prompts, Jan Spiller. She is a wonderful astrologist, rest in power queen. She has an amazing book. I've got it right here, actually, Astrology for the Soul. And it talks about the North and South nodes. And so the North node, this is, astrology. The North node is really giving us the blueprint about what we're here to do, we're here to do in this life, what patterns, behavioral, emotional thinking patterns we're to leave behind, what we're to embrace. And then it also kind of gives you a sneak peek. This is what was going on in past lives and what type of gifts you're bringing over from that past life to help you, slay the beasts of all the stuff here in the current life. So, the tarot allows us to tap into the client's energy. We're tapping into the client's energy. We're tapping into what's happening in their lives and, their guides. And of course, spirit. And we're just really, truly helping them either heal from the inside out or just to really, truly empower themselves and free themselves from that box, get them outside of the box of that crunchy mind. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's an ever evolving practice that I'm developing and working with, but I just feel like, unfortunately, there's always the undesirable with the desirable. And I just feel like if you're out there doing these treatments and you're not supporting it, and these new brain cells are growing when you're doing these treatments. They're really helping to create new neuronal pathways and new brain cells. And if you're not taking advantage and training those brain cells, like we talked about, the airport experience, if you're not training them and integrating, it's all for nothing. You're just having a trip.
That's it.
And you know what? Hey, I'm not poo-pooing just having a trip because, it's fun, but
if you're this is how I look at it.
You're investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself. Well, you know what I mean?
With cannabis, I'm going to bring the same thing with cannabis. If you want to get high and use cannabis recreationally, that's fine and dandy. I support it, but choose products that are going to support your health.
Absolutely.
Right. So in other words, it's very similar, right? If you're going to be utilizing these sacred plant medicines, I have the utmost respect for them. I'm having all of these various experiences that I've had. You need to do the work on the other side. Otherwise, you just kind of wasted your money, right? Because here's what happens is you go and you have these experiences. You can't unsee or undo it. You come back changed, a different person, but the world has stayed the same. And how do you navigate those internal changes while the world still exists as it is?
Absolutely.
So you have to have that spiritual toolbox. And I've truly found that what you have to offer is so beneficial to so many different people.
And I just want to tag on to that. It's like when you are working with any of the psychedelic medications or sacred plant medicines, I don't care what anyone says on the scientific front. You are getting closer and closer to unveiling the veil. You know what I'm saying? You're getting access to the spiritual realm.
You are.
And sometimes when you're under those experiences, you may not have you may be like, what the heck? How do I make heads or tails about what I just experienced, what I just saw, what I just heard? And you need to have support, unbiased support, to be able to help you work through those experiences. Because again, like I said, I'll have dreams like through my clairvoyance, like spirit will put me into these situations in my dream state to give me an opportunity to work through something where I wouldn't have the opportunity to work through it here in the conscious awakened state.
Yeah.
And it's only because when I journal about it, it's like something really mystical happens when I'm writing about that experience and really making heads or tails about it. You know what I mean? And that is how we work through the feelings and the emotions. Again, it all comes back to don't throw out feeling what you need to feel. We always hear you got to feel it to heal it. Well, if you can't feel your freaking emotions, you ain't healing nothing, Jack. Okay. That's all I got to say.
The healing is in the feeling, and we cannot bypass the human experience and all of the emotions that exist.
100%.
All there for a reason. And we are privileged to be human beings with those vast array of emotions. I know sometimes when I'm in the down in the dumps and I'm feeling like
it sucks, man. It really does. You're in the weeds.
Right. So, but you have to, the thing is we can always flip the switch, right? Processing emotion is one of the most difficult things we've been tasked to do as human beings on 100%. This earth. Right.
And you know what, Sherry? And you know what, Sherry? It's an excellent point too. That the polarity. Okay, I'm channeling the Temperance card right now. It's like you cannot appreciate the light without experiencing the dark. You cannot really truly appreciate a really amazing, desirable, delicious experience unless you've experienced an undesirable. And you know what? It's really truly about perception. We've all, you know what I mean? It's all about how you perceive the experience. It's all about, do you choose to own your power of choice? Yeah. How are you going to choose to think about this? And how are you going to shift it? Yeah. You don't have to.
Yeah. And you know, for me too, the miracle is the change of perception, that aha moment when it just makes sense.
Big props to Neek. That was a great program. I got to give her a shout out.
Yes. So tell us about Into the Bliss. I'm pulling it up. Let's talk about Into the Bliss. Here we are.
Man. Yeah. Oh, there's my baby. Yeah. I mean, like, that's my baby. That's my main hub, the YouTube channel. I put out a lot of, this is my offering of love to the collective. There's no cost. These readings are collective readings. It's a different experience than where we were having, if we were to have a one-to-one where I'm actually tapping into an individual's energy. I'm tapping into the archetypal energies on a global scale. You know what I mean? So, but these are my offerings. You can access, I do weekly live Tarot Tuesdays for those on the spiritual path. Again, spiritual path is everything in our life here on Earth. 12 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday. There's always a replay afterward with timestamps so that you can kind of click back and forth and go to whatever section you want. I also put out zodiac readings for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and Midheaven placements. And I do other readings as I'm called to do it. As Spirit is like, knock, knock, we got a reading to do, honey. And I need you to do it today.
Absolutely. And then
whatever you say, Spirit, we got it. But I want it to be global. I want to be remote and I want to be global. And I'm actually blessed. I've already had clients in Spain, Canada. Like,
that's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing, you know?
So on your YouTube channel too, there's also a link by LinkPod that actually pulls up some other
yep, that's it hooks you up to all of my socials, any live events that I'm going to do, because I mean, obviously I have the weekly live, but I do pop-up lives for full moon, sometimes new moons, different portal readings like an 1111 portal, those types of things. So it keeps you in the now in terms of what my lives are going to be. It also has my booking link. So
there you go.
Just gives vibes, you know?
And that is also
there it is
right there. Yep. So live the tarot, check out my offerings here.
Yep.
Some of your readings, these are amazing. So this is all available. All the links are in the show notes as well as in the comments.
Yep.
So why don't we, if you're up for it, do a little quick card reading?
Let's do it.
Carey Lee and I talked beforehand, and I'm going to pull a card from the deck called Deanna Cooper.
I love Diana Cooper.
Ascension cards.
Oh my
gosh. I've actually had these for a while. One of my spiritual teachers actually gave these to me.
Aww.
And so I'm going to do a little shuffle. I'm going to pull a card and read it, and then Carey is going to clarify it with the tarot.
Sweet.
All right.
This is what collaboration's all about, baby.
I know. So
I've never done anything like this. This is fun.
This is fun. I've got the goosies. So what I'm going to do is I want you to tell me when to stop.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
Spirit told me to ask you that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Ready? 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 3,
Yep.
2, 1. Stop.
Okay. All right. And here we go. The card is Isis.
Ooh, wow.
Isis. So I'm going to read what this card says, and then we'll look for some clarification. So I pulled the card of Isis. Illumined Master Isis was Ma-Ra in Lemuria. Isis is the high priestess of Atlantis, mother of Horus in Egypt, and Mary, mother of Jesus. She was also always overlit by the universal angel of Mary, who helped Isis pass her initiations and ascend at each lifetime. This card reminds you of the power of the feminine. Guess what? The cannabis plant is feminine. Face your challenges with equanimity and courage, knowing you are helped by angels. Keep your light bright and your energy pure no matter what. And this will enable you to influence many on their ascension path. Remember, there is a greater plan. The affirmation for this card is, I face my challenges with calm and strength.
Woo! I love that. I love that it has the affirmation on there. That's amazing.
And the number is 38. And when you add 3 plus 8, that's number 11.
That's really a powerful, it's a master number in numerology. It's usually signifies this is an opportunity in this lifetime for you to be really heavily supported on a spiritual awakening journey. And I just happen to have that dominant. My birthday is 29, which reduces down to 11. And I was born in St. Louis, which the coordinates are 3838. And my birthday is like 111 plus 74 reduces down to 11. I got 11s everywhere, man.
I know. But anyways, I thought this was a very, very interesting card because you know what? A lot of people are going through a lot of challenges right now. And the affirmation is I face my challenges with calm and strength.
That's right. That's right. And you're supported, knowing that you're supported, that's what I love about Oracle decks though too, Cher, is that some of them have those positive affirmations and a lot of them have journal prompts that really help you dive in. Yeah. Okay, let's find out what wants to come through. So big picture energy, Isis is the ultimate high priestess. Let's be real. Okay. Yeah. And the high priestess in the tarot deck, she is all about, it's an invitation for you to do the deep dive, to get into those emotions, do that shadow work, do that inner child healing, learn how to really trust your intuition. You know what I mean? So I really, really like that energy. She represents Pisces in astrologically. I'm talking the high priestess card in the tarot deck. So here's something else I really feel called to talk about really quick. We just experienced these nodes just switched over. They switch over, I think, every 18 months. It happened on Saturday, actually. We went from, I'm getting left side ear ringing. We went from Aries and Libra, which was all about, relationships. Libra is represented by Venus, right? Love, Aphrodite, relationships with other people, balance, where Aries is about Mars, action, control. It's relationship with self. And we've shifted, this is huge. We've shifted to the Pisces Virgo axis. Now, Pisces and Virgo are high priestess and the hermit in the tarot deck. This is the ultimate spiritual duo. So we have now shifted for the next 18 months into a very highly spiritual plane. So you want to talk about the veil being thinner.
Yeah.
It's a call to arms to really address and, reflect and contemplate on what is your relationship with the highest of the high? What are your spiritual practices? What are you consistent with it? Are you committed with it? Are you committed with, doing those deep dives and growing and healing and expanding your consciousness and evolving? So I love that she made her appearance. I think that's not a coincidence on any level. Let's find out what Spirit has for us. I've been shuffling it here. Can you tell I love this stuff?
Yes, and I love it that you love it because you light up.
That's another. It's like if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, baby. If it doesn't light you up, it's a hell no.
I hear you, and I've had to do a lot of reevaluating.
Spirit. What messages does Spirit have for us regarding Isis, regarding High Priestess energy, regarding facing what we need to face and moving through it, Spirit? Please and thank you. Three, two, and one. Whoa. Ooh. Okay. All right.
You gotta hold it up high so I can see it.
Okay, so okay, this is wild because this is like I love this deck. It's a new one. This is the Knight of Wands. You can't really see it very well because my light. See the gold?
Yeah, I can see it right there. That's perfect.
See the gold? Isn't that freaking awesome? Okay, so the bottom of the deck, I like to work with the bottom of the deck is like the overarching energy. And the Knight of Wands in this situation, since we're talking about the spiritual path and this High Priestess energy has showed up, right? Overarching energy. The Knight of Wands is represented by the fire element, like we discussed, right? So this could be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, right? In this particular reading, this is about that spiritual journey.
There you go.
Because Knights are about movement. Knights are about taking action and they're about movement. You know what I mean? So what's interesting, I have more Wands energy. Here's the 10 of Wands came out. You see how he's carrying that really heavy load of Wands, right? It's an opportunity for, somebody out there to take this deep dive. You're holding on to too much weight. You're holding on to the weight of the world. This could be generational patterns that you're holding on to, belief structures. This could be burnout mode. You're burning out at work. You're not enjoying your life. You know what I mean? Like it's time to slow down and get into your soul. You know what I mean? And so the 2 of Cups is coming out next. And the 2 of Cups, in this particular setup, this is about coming into alignment with your soul. It's about the cups are about emotions and feelings. What did I say? Deep dive energy, right? And the cups are representative by Cancer, Pisces, ding, 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 and Scorpio. So we literally just had the Cancer full moon. It's our first full moon we had for 2025. I think that was Monday night, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Spirit's like, please, please, please don't throw this opportunity away to do this deep dive and bring yourself into alignment with what really, truly brings you joy, what really, truly lights you up so that Spirit can bring to you the things that will help you propel in your life so that you can live your best and highest. You know what I mean? And so the last card, this is the challenge. It's the 5 of Pentacles. There's healing that needs to be done in terms of maybe not having the best self-esteem. Maybe you felt like you've been beat up and dragged down because you've been carrying on all this weight for so long, right? Maybe some of you out there are dealing with issues surrounding your money house. Maybe there's some type of generational patterns it's an opportunity to shift from, lack or scarcity into that of an abundant and prosperous mindset. You know what I mean? So I really, really like this. Let's just go ahead and let's just go a little bit deeper if we have time, Cher.
We do have time.
Just want to clarify and find out if I can get a little bit more information on what's going on with the 5 of Pentacles. Because typically when we see the 5 of Pentacles, we're like, what? We got issues with health. We got issues with money. What's going on here? You know what I mean?
So the 5 of Pentacles represents issues?
5 of Pentacles can definitely represent some issues, and Pentacles are about our earth signs. So this represents Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus energy. Mm-hmm. And again, our earthly realm. What are we doing with our career? What are we doing with our relationships, our health, right? Spirit, give me more juice on this 5 of Pentacles. What's going on with the 5 of Pentacles? More details for the viewers. Please help me understand, Spirit. 3, I just heard to resolve. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Okay. 10 of Swords just came out. Ooh, 5 of Wands. Okay.
Okay, Care Bear, what do we got?
Bottom of the deck, 4 of Swords. It's an opportunity to slow down and chill and recover and heal. We've got the 10 of Swords. It's like, look at the swords in this guy's back.
Yeah, it looks like
I honestly feel like something has ended. I feel like something has ended. This is what's coming through. I can't control what's coming through, so I'm just going to say it. I feel like I'm picking up on a relationship situation here. This could be family, friends. This could definitely be like a romantic situation. I feel like something has ended. It's over and done with, and someone's not letting it go. I feel like with the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords, somebody feels that they're left out. Like, I feel like this could be a ghosting situation, honestly. 5 of Wands, lots of freaking drama involved. We got 55 on the table, and we've got 10 on the table. These are numbers, right? This 5 of Wands, look at them. They're fighting. They're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just drama. I feel like this person was a lot of drama. And I don't know. I feel like here's the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like Spirit's like, look, it's time to just slow it down, because the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. He's very slow and methodical. And again, I just feel like Spirit's like, it's a call to arms. Somebody out there needs to hear it. It's over and done with, whatever it is. Place it where it goes. Relationship, romantic, friends, family, job, whatever. It's time to let it go. It's already over. You're holding on to it. So let's get guidance. What's the final guidance, Spirit? What's the final guidance or the action? It's like, you're going to be so much better. You're going to feel, when you let go of this and you put the weight down, you put that worry down, those 10 wands, you're going to come into alignment and something better is going to come in. Hold on a second. Let me clarify the 2 of Cups really quick. I can't help it. I got to go with it. Show me this 2 of Cups. What's coming in? Ooh, Emperor. So someone new could be coming in, could be an Aries. This is Emperor energy, right? I feel like for some of you, this is definitely take the action. The Emperor is the king of all the kings in the deck. He takes Emperor. Here's that Mars energy we were talking about. It's like Spirit's like, just take the action. Take the action. Yep, the Fool card. Trust yourself. Take that leap of faith. It's like, wow. Could have been dealing, there's the Queen of Wands. Maybe they were dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. Maybe they've got an Aries that wants to come in. But let's see, what's the guidance? What's the outcome here? First of all, what's the outcome should they decide to take this action? Spirit, talk to me. What's the outcome? Possible outcome. Don't ever give your power away to tarot, because you have the power of choice. So you can always change outcome if you don't like it, or choose to pursue the steps to make that outcome happen. You know what I mean? But it's possible. So let's find out. What's the possible outcome, please? And thank you, Spirit. This is coming in really, really fast.
Yeah.
3 and 2. And oh, wow. I like that. Ooh. Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune, it's like things are going to shift and change for the better for you. You take that leap. You take that leap of faith and do some deep work, do some healing, whatever that ending was. It's going to bring you into alignment. It's like, I've got the Empress energy on the bottom of the deck. So the Emperor and the Empress are counterparts. She is all about abundance and like something new coming in, something new being birthed, right? Maybe a new relationship. What is the final guidance for this beautiful, beautiful community? What actions or guidance can they take moving forward, please? I really, really feel like, I mean, this could definitely, and this is what it is about collectives. It could literally be something worth related to like a job situation, career, any kind of a relationship, you know what I mean? And it could also be a call about, you know, clearing the vessel. Yeah, the Death card just came out. Let it go. Let it go. Scorpio energy. Let it go. Surrender to this ending. What else, Spirit? It's something that's going to deeply, deeply transform you when you take this, leap. 3, 2. Give me more, Spirit. And 1. Oh, wow. I freaking love it. So here comes the devil. And no, I'm not talking about mwah. This is about really facing those fears. Whatever you're holding on to, it's coming from within you. It doesn't have anything to do about the other person or the situation at hand. It's a call for you to free yourself from the illusion that you're holding on to. It's like, you know, the Six of Cups and the Justice card. It's about really choosing, again, it could be inner child related too. Like when you're doing the dive, when you do that healing work, it could be something that was triggering within you, like inner child related. But with the Justice card, there's owl spirit showing up on the Justice card. You're really going to be clear. You're really going to be clear. You're going to really have a much better understanding of where you're headed. And I just feel like when I see the Justice card and I see the Wheel of Fortune, that's all about like karma being balanced. That's all about it's settling up. It's releasing and letting go of the old so that you can really welcome in some new stuff. So
good job, Carey. Wow, that was an amazing.
Carey, you asked for it, girl.
I know. Wow, I got more than it's amazing. Thank you so much for reading.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Spirit.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of things that are happening in the world and people are being challenged. And, you know, we can all turn to plant medicine. We can all, you know, choose to consume plant medicines, you know, for medicine or recreational. But at the end, if you're not doing the inner work, then it really doesn't matter. You're just taking a substance and it's going to waste. So use these substances, use these plant entheogens, use cannabinoids, use these sacred plant medicines, and do the inner work so you can become the best version of yourself so you can help someone else. So it's my tagline. Live your best life and help
100%,
others.
100%.
Yeah. So Care Bear, this has been an amazing show. For all of you that are out there that are watching for the first time, you can see in the show notes how to access Carey Lee's YouTube, how to access her services. We also have a free network off of social media, Holistic Caring Network. Carey has a space in there where you can reach out to her there as well. She puts in some of her free Tarot Tuesday readings in our group. So grateful to have you on today. This has been a fantastic show.
Thank you, Carey. Great to be
wish
here.
you the absolute best. So grateful and honored that you came into my life. And remember, everyone, truly what it's all about. It's all about living your best life and helping others do the same. I'm going to end with my favorite video, and we will see you next time.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.
We're here to educate and empower patients to make choices that are best for them. We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing. The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I was cannabis agnostic for many, many years. And you know, the more research I did, the more I discovered that cannabis is this amazing medicine.
I was told that I had a 4-stage pancreatic cancer. The doctor really told me he couldn't do anything else. He gave me her name and she called me and she came to my house. She started to give me cannabis. My oncologist was puzzled because he couldn't find the cancer anymore.
All of the learning that we get comes from the Green Nurses group, comes from their support, comes from their guidance. I trust everything that she says.
Simply meet people where they're at. The plant doesn't, stress to grow, so we don't stress to share it. We're healing people.
Cannabis has been used as a medicine for tens upon thousands of years. Here's the big message. Cannabis needs to be federally legal. We need to have laws that are the same across all 50 states that allow access to anyone and everyone who wants to utilize this powerful medicine.